United States conducts military operation in Caracas. Trump sees Maduro and his wife captured and flown out of Venezuela. Election Commission reviews proportional representation nominations, sets timeline for corrections, withdrawals and final list publication. Badrpur Airport resumes operations after Buddha Air overturn amid widespread challenges in Nepal's aviation infrastructure. Endangered Raji minority in Nepal grapples with modern life and loss of traditional nomadic identity. Saudi Arabia calls for Yemeni factions to attend dialogue in Riyadh. Such comes after clashes in southern Yemen bring Saudi and UAE-backed forces into confrontation. And the Cricket Association of Nepal unveils annual calendar featuring packed year of national and international tournaments. Hello there, I'm Smriti Singh Tamang and this is NTV World Primetime News coming to you live from Kathmandu at 1900 hours Nepal time. Across the globe, it's 1:15 p.m. in London, 10:15 p.m. in Tokyo, and just after midnight in Sydney. Now, the news in details. In a dramatic escalation, the United States has carried out a military operation in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, resulting in the arrest of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. US President Donald Trump confirmed the operation, stating that both were taken into custody and removed from the country following a month-long pressure campaign. According to U.S. military sources cited by international media, the operation included explosions in Caracas. In response, Venezuela has condemned the act as a serious military attack and declared a state of emergency. The Venezuelan government is demanding immediate disclosure of the whereabouts and condition of President Maduro and his wife. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has indicated that the military action has now ceased following Maduro's arrest. The number of casualties or damages resulting from the operation has not yet been released. The United States has long accused Maduro's government of supporting drug trafficking, and analysts suggest this military strike may be seen as a retaliatory measure. The situation remains fluid, with international attention focused on Venezuela's next steps. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says in a post on Truth Social that U.S. forces have captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro after launching a large-scale strike on the South American country. The White House and the Pentagon have not confirmed the claim, and no independent sources have verified Maduro's capture. Venezuelan officials have dismissed the post as false, while international observers are urging caution amid rapidly unfolding and unclear reports. Venezuela's Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello, in the meantime, says his country will overcome a wave of U.S. military strikes. The Election Commission of Nepal is currently reviewing nominations submitted by political parties for the proportional representation system. According to spokesperson Narayan Prasad Bhatrai, the Commission is verifying whether inclusive group requirements have been met and will notify the respective parties by January 4. Political parties will then have until January 11 to submit corrected lists. Candidates who wish to withdraw their names from the revised lists will have an opportunity to do so on January 12. The Commission will inform the parties who may nominate replacements. The final closed list will be published on January 18. Members of the public can raise legal objections to the candidates listed, which will be investigated, and the final list will be confirmed by February 2, after which no changes will be allowed. Meanwhile, candidates contesting from different 26 election constituencies are allowed to spend maximum of 3.3 million rupees in the upcoming March 5 elections to the House of Representatives members. According to the Election Commission, candidates from Nepal's districts including Taplejung, Panchthar, Sakhuasabha, Solukhumbu, Khotang, Dolkha and Ramechhap are permitted to make higher spending in the elections. Likewise, candidates from 2 election constituencies of Kavri Palanchok, 2 of Makwanpur, 1 of Gorkha, 1 of Lomjung, Argakhachi, Rolpa, Putan and Dang, 2 of Bardia, Salyan, Dolpa, Humla, Jazakot, Bajhang, Doti and Baitari will only be allowed to spend up to 3.3 million rupees. The spending limit has been set high in the districts based on the geographical remoteness. As stated, the Commission has specified arrangement for candidates to spend minimum of 2.7 million rupees in the constituencies of accessible districts. As specified, candidates from 5 election constituencies are permitted to make lower spending in the elections. Among the constituencies are 1, 3, 6, 7 and 8 of Kathmandu. Likewise, candidates from constituencies of Terathum, Parsa 1, 2 and 3, Rasua Kathmandu 2, 4, 5, 9 and 10, Lalitpur 1 and 2, Manang Kaski 2 and Rukum West cannot spend more than 2.7 million rupees. Likewise, candidates from 65 election constituencies are permitted to expend up to 2.9 million rupees in the HOR elections. According to the Commissions, candidates from 52 constituencies can make electoral expenses up to 3.1 million rupees. This time, the AC has made it mandatory to do election expenses through bank and financial institutions' accounts. At Bhadrapur Airport, operations have resumed following Friday night's Buddha Air ATR 72 overrun. Airport authorities say the runway has been temporarily shortened from 1,500 meters to 1,400 meters to allow safe landings and takeoffs, with pilots being fully informed. The flight coming from Kathmandu had 51 passengers, 4 crew members and 1 engineer on board. During landing, it went off the runway's east end. 7 people were injured, including co-pilot Sushant Shrestha, who is being treated. The other 6 injured passengers have been discharged. Authorities say the airport is fully operational and the damaged aircraft is being removed. The cause of the accident is still under investigation, with technical issues suspected rather than weather. Despite nearly 3 decades since its establishment, the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal faces ongoing challenges in managing the country's aviation infrastructure and finances. Of Nepal's 55 airports, only 26 are currently in regular operation, highlighting both the potential and the limitations of the nation's air transport network. A report.
Nepal's aviation infrastructure development has been influenced largely by political considerations rather than by technical assessments or commercial demand, leaving billions of rupees in public investment underutilized and at risk. Dozens of airports have been built across the country despite limited demand and inadequate feasibility planning. As a result, 26 airports are currently completely non-operational, including facilities in Lamidana, Paitadi, Rukum, Doti, Manang, Dolpa, Tikapur and Safebagar. Of the airports built with billions of rupees in state funding, only 25 are currently operational, and even among them, 14 are operating at a loss. Despite heavy public investment, many remote regions continue to lack reliable and accessible air services, which show a growing disconnect between infrastructure spending and actual public benefit.
जब full-fledged को ठुलो विमानस्थलहरू ठुलो जहाजहरू भएपछि ल्यान्डिङ पार्किङ चार्जहरू आम्दानी बढी हुन्छ सानो फेजको र दुर्गममा एकातिर नियमित नहुने अर्कोतिर सानो जहाजहरू जसको वेट कम हुन्छ र वेटको आधारमा चाहिँ जहिले पनि एरोनोटिकल चार्जहरू निर्धारण हुन्छ सानो वेट भएकोले गर्दाखेरि तपाईको चाहिँ धेरै फ्लाइट भए पनि आम्दानी चाहिँ कम हुन्छ त्यसैले एयरपोर्टहरू सेल्फ सस्टेनेबल बनाउनको लागि हैन उडानको संख्या वृद्धि गर्ने र मैले भने राज्यको ध्यान चाहिँ के हुनु पर्यो भने चाहिँ विमानस्थल बनाउने मात्र हैन कि वायु सेवा कम्पनीको क्षमता विस्तार र वायुयानको संख्या बढेपछि नेपाल विमानस्थल बढी भएको हैन विमानस्थलहरू अनयुज भएको हो वायु सेवा कम्पनीको क्षमता कमजोर भएर विमानस्थलहरू अनयुज भएको राज्यले त्यतातिर फोकस गर्नुपर्छ.
With operating costs exceeding revenue, the Civil Aviation Authority is struggling to sustain many of these facilities. Of the country's airports, 42 have paved runways, while 13 still have unpaved surfaces, causing flight operations to come to a complete halt during the monsoon season. Although 10 airports are technically equipped for night operations, regular night flights are effectively conducted at only 3. Public funds spent without strategic planning or commercial viability have resulted in widespread losses and abandoned infrastructure. Aviation experts warn that no new airports should be constructed without thorough feasibility studies, technical assessments, and stakeholder consultation, cautioning that continued politically driven expansion could further strain public resources. With Dhruva Thapa on camera, a report by Kamala Ariel.
We take a short break here. More news coming up. Welcome back. You're watching NTV World Primetime News. More from the home front. In Nepal's central district of Makwanpur, accessing basic education has become a key challenge for children living in remote villages such as Dusarang. The village's geographic isolation, combined with limited transportation options, makes daily travel to school difficult. Children are able to attend primary education locally up to grade 5. However, after that, the nearest school offering higher grades is located several kilometers away. They are forced to walk for 2 to 3 hours each way along hilly and sometimes unsafe paths. As a result, a significant number of children drop out of school after completing grade 5, unable to cope with the physical demands and logistical challenges of reaching a distant school. The situation is further complicated by the fact that even schools within the region struggle with lowest number of students. Locals lament that without support from the government, like building schools with higher grades closer to the settlements or merging nearby schools, many children in Makwanpur's Dusarang will continue to face difficulties in completing their education. The Raji, a minority community in Nepal traditionally living a nomadic life along riverbanks, are seeking new livelihoods and a settled lifestyle. Modern development and migration have integrated them into mainstream society, but preserving their language, culture and identity remains a challenge. Regina Rai, with our local correspondent Purushottam Gimire, explains the reality.
Over time, the Raji community, once closely connected to the forest, has witnessed profound changes in their daily lives. With a population of just 5,125, the Raji are among Nepal's most endangered indigenous ethnic groups. Traditionally, they were nomadic hunter-gatherers, primarily residing in the western districts, Surkhet, Bardia, Kailali and Kanchanpur. Renowned for their skill and resilience, the Raji have long survived by harvesting honey from cedar cliffs, fishing and crafting wooden boats. These traditional occupations were not only vital for survival, but also formed the backbone of their cultural identity, passed down through generations. However, modernity has gradually eroded these traditions. Nomadic lifestyles have given way to settled living, with communities adopting modern farming, wage labor and service sector work. While permanent settlement has brought certain benefits such as improved access to education, healthcare and social services, it has also introduced economic hardship. Many Raji children still miss out on schooling, and sustaining families through ancestral skills has become increasingly difficult as forests shrink and traditional tools lost their utility. Conservation policies and the expansion of community forests have further declined the Raji's traditional survival identity. The government provides social security allowances to support this endangered group, yet challenges in education, employment and cultural preservation persist. Many members of the community express dissatisfaction with these incomplete transitions, feeling a loss of cultural continuity as their nomadic way of life fades into memory. Despite these challenges, the Raji remain rich in language, culture and customs. Their most significant festival, Gurua Puja, continues to draw participants from neighboring communities, fostering social harmony. Protecting the language, culture and identity of the Raji has become a shared responsibility, requiring active support from both the state and broader Nepali society. Yet the reality remains. The tales of the Raji's rooted nomadic existence now survive largely in memory. Rosina Rai with the local correspondent Purushottam Gimire, Kohalpur, Nepal.
The month-long Swasthani Brata and Magh Snan rituals have begun today and will continue through late January. Devotees start the day with a ritual bath, followed by midday worship of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. In the evening, families listen to and recite the Swasthani Brata Katha from the Kedarakanda of the Skanda Purana, with the timing of recitation varying by family tradition. From today, the Madhav Narayan Fair has also commenced at the Shali Nadi in Sakhu, northeast of the Kathmandu Valley, where devotees will gather daily for ritual bathing and prayers throughout the month. From late December or early January to late January, the Newar community observe a month-long tradition of devotional prayers dedicated to Madhav Narayan. During this period, groups gather daily in neighborhoods, rest houses, courtyards and streets, performing hymns and recitations with traditional musical instruments. The practice is rooted in Hindu belief that worship during this month brings spiritual merit and spiritual fulfillment. Religious texts, including the Swastani Bratakatha, highlight devotion to Madhav Narayan as a path to spiritual attainment. Throughout the month, devotees follow ritual purity, take regular holy baths, and continue daily prayers and devotional singing as part of this long-established cultural tradition. In Nepal's northern Himalayan district of Rasuwa, traditional festivals of the Tamang community are emerging as a strong driver of local tourism. Domestic and international visitors are increasingly drawn to indigenous celebrations such as Cheju and Mola, held along the Tamang Heritage Trail during the winter months. Locals say these festivals are helping extend tourist stays while positioning the region as a key destination for cultural study and research. Beyond tourism, the festivals strengthen social cohesion through shared rituals, prayers and cultural performances. Men and women in traditional attire perform songs and dances, offering visitors an immersive cultural experience. Community leaders say these events preserve Tamang identity while supporting sustainable culture-based tourism in Nepal's Himalayan region. Time again for a short break. We shall see you with global updates at the other side. Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry has called for Yemen's southern factions to attend a dialogue in Riyadh after a dramatic turn of events in the south brought Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates into unprecedented direct confrontation. Both Gulf powers have intervened on behalf of Yemen's internationally recognized government in the country's long-running civil war, but a fracturing of the alliance has seen them backing different rival groups on the ground. One of the groups is now pushing to declare the independence of a breakaway state in southern Yemen. On Friday, the UAE-backed force declared that a war had begun, accusing Saudi-backed ground forces of launching an attack alongside airstrikes by the Saudi Air Force. The Saudi ministry urged a comprehensive conference in Riyadh to bring together all southern factions to discuss just solutions to the southern cause in a statement on social media. Riyadh said the Yemeni government had issued the invitation for talks. Yemen's civil war broke out in 2014 and has plunged the already impoverished country into years of deadly violence and one of the world's worst hunger crises. At least 2 people have died after a powerful earthquake hit southern and central Mexico on Friday. The epicenter of the 6.5 magnitude earthquake was near the popular tourist town of Acapulco, near San Marcos in the southwestern state of Guerrero, which suffered moderate damage. A 50-year-old woman died in Guerrero, the state's governor Evelyn Salgado said, while Clara Brugada, Mexico City's mayor, confirmed the death of a 60-year-old man and said 12 others had been injured in the capital. Mexico is situated in one of the world's most seismically active areas, sitting at the meeting point of 4 tectonic plates. Winter conditions have sharply worsened the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinians are struggling to survive amid shortages of shelter, food and medical care, according to aid agencies. In the enclave, temperatures at night have ranged between 8 and 12 degrees Celsius in recent days. Nearly 80% of buildings in the Gaza Strip have been destroyed or damaged by the war, according to United Nations data, with 1.5 million of Gaza's 2.2 million residents losing their homes. Humanitarian organizations say cold temperatures and heavy rain have increased risks for the wounded, children and the elderly, many of whom are living in makeshift tents or damaged buildings. Aid groups report that limited humanitarian access and insufficient supplies are hampering relief efforts, while Israeli authorities say restrictions are linked to security concerns as fighting continues. We take a short break here. We shall be back with more from International Front. Afghan officials say cotton farming in the province has steadily increased in recent years following efforts to promote its cultivation. According to officials, cotton was cultivated on 2,150 hectares of land in the country's Kandahar this year, marking an increase of 100 hectares compared to last year. Officials added that cotton has proven to be a suitable alternative to poppy cultivation, particularly given Kandahar's soil and climate, and has delivered positive results for farmers under current conditions. Afghanistan says efforts are underway to export Kandahar cotton in line with international market standards. However, farmers say that despite higher yields, cotton prices remain low and markets are limited. China's 42nd Antarctic expedition hit a new milestone as the Shuilong icebreaker successfully arrived at the country's Qinling station on Sunday evening after a challenging 2-week voyage through treacherous sea ice. Shuilong is currently conducting the unloading of about 1,400 tons of vital supplies, including logistical support, engineering materials, scientific equipment, and fuel for the Qinling station. The vessel departed 2 weeks ago from an unloading site in the waters near Zhongshan station. En route, it braved a range of extreme polar conditions, including dense floating ice and multiple cyclones. Traveling with its sister ship, Shuilong 2, the pair first navigated the solid ice region of Prince Bay and then the chaotic outer ice zone. However, worsening weather and increasingly dense ice made forward progress difficult. As time passed and the pack ice began to shift, Shuilong managed to break free, entering navigable waters after repeated forward pushes. A day later, Shuilong 2 also found a new ice channel and exited the hazardous zone. The two ships then split, Shuilong heading east towards Qinling Station and Shuilong 2 heading west on separate research missions. Swordsmiths in central Japan have performed a New Year ritual to pray for safety and success this year. The Seki Traditional Swordsmith Museum in the city of Seki, Gifu Prefecture, holds the Japanese sword forging ceremony every year on January 2. The city is one of the major production areas of knives in Japan. On Friday, 7 artisans heated up steel to more than 1,000 degrees Celsius. They then pounded the metal with hammers to remove any impurities. About 90 visitors watched and took photos of the swordsmiths at work. Now the sports update. The Cricket Association of Nepal (CAN) has released its annual calendar featuring national and international cricket tournaments for the year. The calendar was unveiled today at a press conference by CAN Secretary Paras Khadka. On the international front, Nepal will host the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Global Qualifier in January. In February, Nepal's men's team will compete in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, followed by ICC League 2 matches in March. The women's team is also scheduled to play bilateral series, while the under-19 team will tour Bhutan. The following months, the calendar includes Nepal A Series, women's and youth tournaments, League 2 fixtures in July and October, the Women's Asia Cup, ACC Premier Cup in August, and bilateral series against Kuwait and the UAE. The Nepal Premier League is scheduled for November, with international series for both men and women in December. With less than 6 months to go before the 2026 World Cup kicks off, organisers are bracing for what could be their most challenging opponent, yet extreme heat. Soaring temperatures across the United States, Mexico and Canada pose safety issues for players and fans, and a host of logistical issues that remain far from settled. With matches scheduled across dozens of cities spanning 3 countries, tournament planners are racing to adapt to increasingly unpredictable weather patterns driven by climate change. Concerns include heightened risks of heat exhaustion and dehydration for players, extended cooling breaks during matches, and the need to adjust kick-off times to avoid the hottest parts of the day. Organisers are also assessing stadium infrastructure such as shaded seating, ventilation and access to water, while local authorities prepare expanded medical services and emergency response plans for spectators. The challenge underscores how global sporting events are being forced to rethink traditional scheduling and operations as extreme weather becomes a defining factor in international competition. We're almost at the end of the primetime bulletin, but before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories once again. United States conducts military operation in Caracas. Trump says Maduro and his wife captured and flown out of Venezuela. Election Commission reviews proportional representation nominations, sets timeline for corrections, withdrawals and final list publication. Badripur Airport resumes operations after Buddha Air overrun amid widespread challenges in Nepal's aviation infrastructure. Endangered Raji minority in Nepal grapples with modern life and loss of traditional nomadic identity. Saudi Arabia calls for Yemeni factions to attend dialogue in Riyadh. Such comes after clashes in southern Yemen bring Saudi and UAE-backed forces into confrontation. And Cricket Association of Nepal unveils annual calendar featuring packed year of national and international tournaments. That's all for the moment. Our next bulletin will be at 2200 hours Nepal time. Do join us through our social media and get the latest updates from our official website, nepaltelevision.com. I'm Smita Gising Thamang. Thank you for staying with us. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Welcome to the studios of NTV World in Kathmandu, Public Service Broadcasting PSB Nepal's new initiative to make Nepal more visible and audible to the global audience. Welcome on board.
This is NTV World, facts that speak, insights that matter.
Telling the stories of a changing planet. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
exploring the heartbeat of Nepali creativity. This is NTV World.
The power of story shaped by technology. NTV World.
Unearthing Nepal's hidden heritage. Discovering the timeless Nepal.
Telling stories that endure across centuries. Where culture breathes, stories don't.
When the world moves, we make a sense of it. NTV World.
Taste of Nepal. Every recipe, every flavor tells the story.
Journalism in the digital age. Fast, focused, verified.
Stories hold power. Stories reflecting life. Stories of the hinterlands. Reporting for NTV World.
This is NTV World. Welcome to News Hour.
This is NTV World. Welcome to Primetime News.
One story at a time.
Crossing borders, connecting voices, where Nepal meets the world in dialogue. This is NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Voices that connect Nepal to the world, bringing perspective, region and relevance to every story. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Stand by. Mic is on.
3, 2, 1, cue.
We are NTV World.
Nepal, a land of unparalleled natural beauty and rich heritage. Tucked in the heart of Himalayas, this small yet mighty country is a living tapestry of religious, cultural and historical significance. The capital city of Kathmandu sits like a jewel at the crossroads of time, surrounded by towering peaks and the lush landscapes of Kathmandu Valley. The vibrant city is home to a unique blend of cultural families, each deeply rooted in the traditions that have shaped Nepal for centuries. Kathmandu is a city where history, religion and art are not just preserved but actively celebrated. This city is also the proud home to 7 of the world's most significant cultural heritage sites, all of which are recognized by UNESCO. For centuries, the people of Nepal have dreamed of sharing their nation's unique story with the world. And Nepal and its people have captured the world's attention and admiration. It is a place that draws people from every corner of the globe, inspiring awe with its ancient temples, stunning architecture, and deeply rooted spiritual legacy. In 1989, UNESCO declared 3 historical zones in Kathmandu as World Heritage Sites, including 2 Buddhist stupas and 2 Hindu temples. One such remarkable site is the Hanuman Dhoka Darbar Square, a historical treasure located in the heart of Kathmandu Valley. The legacy of ancient kings is written in every stone of this sacred ground. From the reign of King Ratna Malla to that of mighty King Bir Bikram, Hanuman Dhoka has been a central figure in the cultural and political life of Nepal. Here, the temple of Taleju, Jagannath, Shiva Parvati, the massive Thulo Ghanta, Kal Bhairav Shrine, Maiju Devo, and the Kumari Kal are among the most important landmarks. The intricacy of the temples, the carvings, the statues, and the entire architectural composition bear witness to the authenticity and craftsmanship of Nepalese art. The preservation of these artifacts is crucial as many of them are unique to Nepal and cannot be found anywhere else in the world. Each day, hundreds of international tourists visit this place not only to witness its beauty, but also to learn about its cultural and historical significance. Many scholars and academics visit Kathmandu to study the profound artistic and architectural heritage found in the city. Another historical gem is the Patan Darbar Square, an ancient palace complex that dates back to Malla dynasty. Located in the city of Patan, which is also known as the City of Art, the square is a testament to the creativity and devotion of Malla kings. Built during the 17th and 18th centuries, Patan's magnificent temples and palaces were commissioned by King Siddhi Narsingh, King Srinivas and King Yoganendra Malla, whose influence is still visible in the area's grand architecture. Some of Patan's most famous landmarks include Mool Chowk, Sundari Chowk, Bhimsen Mandir, Krishna Mandir, Taleju and Kumbheshwar Mandir. Among these, Sundari Chowk is an attraction in itself, and nearby Tusa Hiti Dhara, a traditional water spout, adds an authentic touch to the cultural experience. The Krishna Mandir, built in the distinct Shikhara style, is another highlight. This temple is particularly famous for its stone carvings depicting scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, an absolute visual feast for visitors. For centuries, Patan has stood as a symbol of artistic excellence.
The Rato Machinanath Jatra, a festival celebrated not only as the pride of Lalitpur, but also recognized globally for its cultural significance, has just concluded. This year, beginning on May 18, we launched a 40-day campaign showcasing the grandeur of the procession. The participation throughout the festival was truly encouraging. Last year, we welcomed around 200,000 visitors. This year, by mid-June alone, the footfall has already surpassed 225,000. This achievement fills us with immense pride, while also reminding us that there is still much more to accomplish. We currently offer a guided tour from Patan Dhoka to museum, completely free of cost, with the aim of establishing our heritage as a living part of our collective identity. Patan Museum has long been committed to safeguarding both the tangible and intangible cultural heritage of this region. It serves not only as a local exhibition space, but as a vital destination dedicated to preserving and celebrating the culture of this historic city. Our tangible inheritances, many of them dating back to the Lichavi era, stand as remarkable non-living heritage, while our festivals, rituals and processions embody the vibrancy of our living traditions. Both forms of heritage are invaluable to us. It is our responsibility to protect them, nurture them, and ensure they pass down to the future generations with the same reverence with which we receive them. International tourists travel to Nepal to experience the richness of our natural and cultural heritage. Our historical buildings, artifacts, sacred idols form an integral part of that experience. Many visitors take the time to explore, observe, and fully immerse themselves in the stories these treasures hold.
Established by the King Bardev, the city was originally known as Lalitpuri Adinath. It was not just the royal home, but the administrative heart of the region. The intricate woodwork, the timeless architecture, and the thriving cultural scene make Patan a perfect example of Nepal's historical richness. Bhaktapur, another ancient city, takes its place among the jewels of Nepal. Known for its stunning art, culture, and architecture, Bhaktapur is a city that has preserved its medieval charm. According to Gopal Raj's genealogy, the city was established by King Anandadev. The Bhaktapur Darbar Square is one of the most captivating sites, with attractions like Singhadwar, Swarnadwar, Chardham, and Nyatapol Mandir. Among these, the Pachpanna Jhale Darbar, or the palace with 55 windows, stands out as an iconic symbol of Bhaktapur's rich history. This palace, originally built during King Yakshamalla's reign and later reconstructed by King Bhupatendra in the 17th century, is one of the finest examples of the Malla period's architectural prowess. The art gallery within the palace is also a significant attraction for tourists and art lovers. The cultural heritage of Bhaktapur is alive and well.
Now we are in Bhaktapur and we are very surprised about the city. It's like incredible. Imagine that from how long this city has been with human beings and culture around. So we are very impressed. Probably one of the most beautiful cities that we ever seen. The construction, the architecture is very nice. The bricks, that is like all the city made from bricks and wood. And the people also is very happy, very friendly. You can move easily from anywhere because they have transport for everywhere. Take a long time be in the road because the roads are not so good, but you can do to any place. So it's very easy to move. It's very beautiful to see, and it's very satisfied for your heart. This kind of culture.
Bhaktapur, who is one of the most beautiful cities that I never seen before. It's a very ancient city. Some temples were constructed like in 12th century. So you feel like in other time, and you can walk a lot of days, and you can see the smile of the people, the street, this history. So we are very impressed and happy to came to this concert. Every day I send pictures to them, to my family, and they are so impressive too. I think that this country is a very complete country to spend a holiday or a long trip, wherever you can do. You can be in different parts with different views and history and culture. So I invite all you to come to Nepal and enjoy this beautiful place.
From the Kumals who craft their signature mud products to the intricate wooden crafts that define the city, Bhaktapur offers a window into traditional lifestyle of the Malla era. The famous black cap, Bhatgaule topi, worn by Nepali men, also originates here, a small yet meaningful piece of cultural pride. On the spiritual front, Pashupatinath Temple is one of the most revered religious sites in Nepal and across the Hindu world. The temple, built in pagoda style, stands as a beacon of faith for millions of Hindus worldwide. It is believed that a pilgrimage to Pashupatinath is equivalent to visiting 4 sacred dhams of India. Built by King Bhupatendra Malla, this temple serves as a center of worship for a diverse array of spiritual communities, including Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs, and others. The Pashupatinath complex is rich with temples, shrines, and sacred sites, each one steeped in centuries of religious history. One of the most significant festivals here is Shivaratri, a grand celebration of Lord Shiva that attracts thousands of devotees from around the world. Every year, during the special month of Shravan, the temple hosts vibrant rituals and ceremonies, drawing pilgrims to witness these sacred observances. The surrounding Slaes-Mantak forest adds to the serene atmosphere of Pashupatinath. The temple's unique wooden structures, gilded pinnacles, and the bronze statue of Nandi at the entrance all contribute to the spiritual ambience. The daily evening lighting ceremony at the Pashupatinath is a tranquil and profound experience for both locals and international visitors alike. Swambhunath, also known as the Monkey Temple, is another spiritual landmark in Kathmandu. Perched atop the Padmakantagiri hill, this ancient stupa offers sweeping views of the entire valley. The temple is especially important for Buddhists who revere it as a place of profound spiritual significance. Legends say it was here that the Bipaswi Buddha meditated, marking the beginning of Kathmandu Valley's spiritual foundation. Swambhunath's 2 all-seeing eyes, which watch over the valley, are a powerful symbol of justice and wisdom. Visitors who climb the 365 steps to reach the stupa are greeted not only by the temple's beauty, but by the entire history of Nepal, etched in every stone and statue. The region also houses a museum and a library, both offering further insight into Nepal's religious and cultural past. Equally impressive is the Bodhanath Stupa, one of the largest in South Asia. Built in the 5th century, the stupa is a testament to Nepal's enduring connection to Tibetan Buddhism. The legend surrounding Bodhanath's construction is as captivating as its physical presence. It is said that the king, upon being asked if the stupa could be built, mistakenly replied in the affirmative, leading to the creation of this sacred monument. Bodhanath has become a hub for the Tibetan Buddhist community, especially during Losar festival, celebrated by Sherpa people. Its significance stretches beyond Nepal, linking the country to broader Buddhist world. The Changunarayan temple, located on the outskirts of Bhaktapur, is another example of Nepal's ancient cultural heritage. Built in the 4th century BCE, it is one of the oldest Hindu temples in Kathmandu Valley. Its intricate woodwork, stunning carvings and inscriptions make it a true architectural marvel. Dedicated to Lord Vishnu, the temple is a site of pilgrimage for Hindus and is also renowned for its artistry and craftsmanship. Kathmandu's heritage is not just a relic of the past, it is a living, breathing part of the city's identity. Both the local government and the people of Nepal continue to prioritize the preservation and promotion of these ancient sites, welcoming visitors from around the world to explore and appreciate the rich cultural and historical legacy of this beautiful land. Dai Lake in Karnali province is a geographically remote district, yet rich with untapped potential for tourism. Stepping into Dai Lake, celebrated as a treasure trove of Khas art, culture and heritage, brings a unique sense of joy.
Journey begins amid its natural beauty, leading us toward Mahabur Rural Municipality. As we leave the mid-hill highway, the terrain becomes challenging, with hilly, muddy roads demanding patience and skill. Long lines of vehicles crawl carefully along the cliffs, reflecting both the difficulty of the route and the enduring devotion of Mahabur Dham. Many travelers choose to continue on foot, advancing step by step toward their destination. Passing through Channa, Dasarathi, Okharbans, Bhavsaini, Noli, and Unipata, pilgrims ascend the slopes toward Lesne before finally reaching Mahabur Patan. Pilgrims from Dailik and nearby districts often arrive late at night, having begun their journey the previous day. The path to Mahabur Dham is thrilling, adventurous, and breathtaking, made even more dramatic by the steady rain, drifting fog, and steep inclines. Yet the journey itself feels uniquely rewarding. Mahabur Lake or Mahabur Dham, located within Mahabur Rural Municipality, is a remarkable place of natural beauty, religious significance, and cultural heritage. Situated at an altitude of 4,200 meters, the area is adorned with emerald lakes, grazing flocks of sheep and goats, and a sky that dances with Himalayan mist. Every year, during Janai Purnima, a grand fair is held here, drawing thousands of devotees from across the region. Mahabur Dham's spiritual importance is deeply rooted in the ancient worship of Lord Shiva, revered here as the origin site. From Mahabur Lake, visitors can enjoy magnificent views of Api and Sai Palhimal, and on clear days, even the plains of Bardia. Given its religious importance and natural splendor, Mahabur Dham holds immense potential as a religious tourism destination. Improving the rough, narrow access roads is essential for supporting this growth. Mahabur Dham is more than a pilgrimage site. It is a confluence of culture, history, faith, and nature. To truly appreciate its